Hey everyone. I've been trying to figure out a inexpensive way to keep my car clean while using a touch-free process, or as low touch as possible. That's because my car is black. I'm trying to avoid getting any swirl marks or, really fine scratches in the finish that is common if you use a touch process in the washing and drying. And even if you're extremely careful, there's a high possibility that you're going to have some really fine scratches on the surface. Let me show you some of the products that I landed on that I'm going to try. They just showed up. Give you a little walkthrough of what I picked and why, and then I'll set it up and test it. And then we'll talk about if it works or not, or if these things are going back in the box, back to Amazon. Okay, so this is Black Light from Chemical Guys. It's a soap, works with foam cannons also, and I'm going to be using foam cannon, and I'll show you that in a second. This is formulated for dark cars, so it helps the finish. I don't know if it makes a huge difference or not, especially given the research I did, but it is for black cars, dark colored vehicles. I figured I'd give it a shot. Likewise, I got the Black Light Glaze, which is sort of like a wax sealing, protecting type of thing to go on after. Like a wax, it kind of goes on and then buffs off. And then you can see behind me here, I have a pressure washer, and this is something that's really interesting. So might as well get this open. I did a lot of research into pressure washers. I don't currently own a pressure washer. So at first I thought, well, I'm just going to go get a super high PSI gas-powered unit, and then I can use it for other things. But it turns out that most of the detailers that I watched and most of the literature that I read recommends that you use no more than 1,500 PSI on paint. There's really no point in getting a, 3,000 or 4,000 PSI washer. However, and why I picked this unit, a lot of people are going with the Ryobi, and hopefully it's entertaining to watch me struggle opening this with one hand. There we go. A lot of people are going with the 1,800 PSI Ryobi, but that is only rated for 1.2 gallons per minute. Now, gallons per minute is going to be important, just in moving the water flow through the unit. So this unit here is rated for 2,000 PSI, 1.6 gallons per minute, and the motor is 1,400 watts. Now, this company that I've never heard of before, Toolcy, they also make a 2,300 PSI unit, and the motor is 1,600 watts, same gallons per minute. I was going to get that one, but it was sold out when I went to get it. But I was torn on whether to get this kit or not, because I'll show you in just a second. So this kit comes with, and this was 95 bucks. So this comes with a reasonable hose, and a good test is kind of this bend over and see if it kinks. It is kinking a little, but it's pretty soft. Like, I can squeeze it with my fingers, so it is pretty soft. We'll see how this whole hose holds up, but it does come with a hose. I think it's 25 feet. The unit is pretty small. You can see it's got the inlet and outlet on opposite sides. This has a nice ground fault plug on the bottom here. Little soft water protected on-off switch. And I don't know what that contraption is for. It's probably to hang something off of. But this unit, this kit, comes with what I thought was really helpful, which is a pistol grip gun. Now let's talk about this. If I can get some stats on this here. This is rated for 4,000 PSI. And so it's pretty good. I was worried that this was going to be flimsy. It's got the quick connect on one end, On the other end is a, the threaded type. I think it's called M22 and 14 millimeter. And I was worried this was going to feel flimsy, but it actually has a decent weight to it. I'm trying to look in there and see if it's brass all the way in. I could take it apart, but I'm not going to. But yeah, this feels pretty solid. And I wanted one of these. I didn't want to have to purchase one of these. So with this kit coming with the hose, with the trigger adapter, and then it also comes with, let's take a look at what's in this box. I haven't seen anyone reviewing this. I looked high and low. I couldn't find anyone to review this. I'll be the guinea pig on this one. Let's see, is there anything else in this package? That's no, but it does come, reasonably boxed. Not tons of styrofoam, which I sort of appreciate because that always makes a mess and annoys the hell out of me. It also comes actually with its own adjustable foam cannon, which is a nice add. Also in the kit, which is nice, is it comes with some quick connect nozzles of varying sizes. You know, the common, I think there's a 0, a 15, a 25, and a 40 or something like that nozzles, and then the adapter here. So it looks like a little something to clean the nozzles out too. For $95, it comes with the tips. It comes with a foam cannon. Now, how good this is or not, I don't know. I haven't tried it. It's kind of unbranded, or it's its own house brand, I guess. Comes with the hose. This is great because these by themselves are anywhere from 15 to 50 or 60 or even more, if you're depending on what you're going to get. This has a nice heft to it. I'm pleased. I was really concerned that it was going to be flimsy. I didn't want to have to buy that. And then, of course, the unit itself, I did like that this was rated for 1.6 gallons per minute. As close as you can get to 2 gallons per minute and 1200 psi or so, that seems to be the sweet spot for pressure washing your car. That's the Toolcy pressure washer. I'll get that fired up in a little bit. I'll have to set it up and make sure I get everything all connected. Continuing with washing for a moment, we'll talk about what I picked for my foam cannon. I went with AstroAI. I think this was $23 or something. So it has a couple of nice features. This has a little filtered end to keep debris out. This hose, not super flexible, so I don't think it's not going to follow a tilt. If you're moving it around, this thing can sort of get every bit of soap. Now that's only really important if you're running this all the way down to the bottom anyway. I only have 2 cars that I'm going to wash, so that's what the bottle looks like. I think it's a 1 liter bottle. It does have markings. They're a little tricky to see, but there's 32 ounces and 1 liter right here, or 1,000 milliliters is right up at the top here. Of course, it's adjustable in the fan spread, and it's also adjustable horizontal or vertical. It's got, decent build quality to it. Plastic, wide-ish mouth here, which is going to be easy just to pour your stuff in. What the inside of this looks like is this. In here, there's like a little bundle of wire that helps aerate the solution, and it's like a little, kind of like a puck type shape, like a plug. That sits inside of here. It can get clogged, can get kind of, I don't know, soaped up and gummed up, and you can change it. That's how you change it, by pulling this pin out, and all of this slides off, and you can change that little sponge piece. It's like an aerator. Behind here, there is if you take this connector off, in behind here, on the inside of this side, there's a small threaded hole, and that's what controls the flow, just like your shower or your faucet or anything else. There's a reducer here, right? You've got this big opening here, and it's not like it's this diameter all the way through the unit. There's a very small reducer in here that's like a pinhole practically, And many of these come with 1.25 millimeter orifice. So that's just the size of the hole. Now that's fine if you're using maybe a gas washer and you can achieve 2 gallons per minute. However, if you have a portable washer like I do, and you're putting out a lower GPM, you're going to want a smaller orifice that will, create a little more pressure, sort of decreases the size of the hole, forces more water through, and then kind of compensates for the fact that you don't have as much water flow coming in through here. It'll also, I think, compensate a little bit for the low PSI as well. So between those two things, a smaller orifice is better when you have a weaker pressure washer, like I do. This supposedly comes with a 1.0. A lot of these ship with 1.25. I like this format. It's nice, and when you sort of compare this nozzle to this nozzle, or maybe I'll do a test. Once I have this rig all set up, there's no harm in... this definitely is it's very weighty. It's heavy. Certainly compared to this, when you would imagine the internals are very similar, but maybe they aren't. That's the washing side. On the drying side, I picked up this. Now, he's going to say, come on now. You're going to dry your car with a leaf blower? But I'm going to try it. This was actually probably one of the more expensive pieces of this whole setup. Like I said, this was only $95 with all of this. Saved me from having to purchase one of these for $15, $20 or more. And it even comes with a foam cannon. I didn't even have to buy this. So you could have bought just this and soap and you'd already be almost there. This was $79 on Amazon, and I can at least a majority of the water off with just air. And then if I have to, I can come in with a nice microfiber rag and just kind of very gently wipe the remainder. Let's take a look at this. Here's a shocker. You have a big piece of tube. This feels pretty well made. It's not flimsy. I'm grabbing it pretty hard and it's not caving in or anything, so that's good. I mean, some of the professional dryers are in the multi-hundreds of dollars. So we'll see if this does the trick. And what a lot of people like is that this keeper helps the thing from kind of coming disconnected as you're using it. Has this little pigtail on it so you don't have to connect on this end. I'm going to give this a try, but this is for the drying side. So I've got a little bit of assembly to do here. Going to give this a quick setup. This is a little smaller than I thought, and I'm pleased about that because if it's going to be just for washing the car, I don't want to have some giant contraption sitting around that I can't use for other things. Okay, I've got everything all connected up here, and of course your garden hose comes in here to the back. This spins around nicely, so I've got that. Right now I've got the water cut off here, so no water's hitting this unit yet. I just wanted to get that connected first, and then we'll check this out. You can't really probably see this, but there is a little light here to show that the unit is getting power, so that's awesome. I did put the adapter on here, and here's the pressure hose that it comes with, and then I've got just the spray gun. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of do a leak test. I've got this all set up with 2 ounces of soap and then some water. And a lot of the complaints about this is that it doesn't come with any instructions, but to the credit of the company, before this was delivered, they emailed me a PDF of the instructions. So I actually have the instructions. They sent them to me. Kudos to the company. Okay, I'm gonna check this out. And I do have a little bit of a leak there, so I don't like mixing water and electrical that much. So let me just turn this on. I'm gonna make sure this is pointed away from myself. And just turn this on real quick. Okay. Alrighty, now that does have an auto shut off. So. Alright, so that works. I'm getting a leak right here though. So let me see if I can correct this leak first, and then we'll get back to it. Well, I've managed to get the drip down to something a little more manageable. But you can see it's dripping from my hose. It's dripping from behind here, under there. So I'm gonna give this a quick test. There's a gasket here that somebody had obviously messed with before I got this, and it does have a nice little basket for debris in case you have something in your hose, but that is all mangled because somebody was messing with this, and I've got the problem to deal with. I'll also contact the manufacturer and see what kind of support they have, but this is just dripping a little, so hopefully I can turn this on, give it a test, and we'll see how it does. It's working. It's not dripping too bad, so I don't think we're losing a lot of pressure. Let's just connect our soap very quickly. So you can see, I closed it all the way. Oops, closed it all the way. Opened it just a touch. And this is on all the way on minus, which is most soap, least water. Let's see how it washes my trash bin. All right, it's not terrible. I don't want to point that at me just for kicks. Alrighty, let's see. I mean, it's pretty good. My finger marks stay in there. It is dripping though. It's decent. You can see it's kind of coming off the barrel. I'm gonna open it just a touch more and see what that does. It definitely put more product. The fan wasn't as wide. I'm gonna close it. And now just open it just barely a touch. And see if that does anything different. I definitely get a wider fan. While we're here and we have everything set up, let's give this guy a try. Whoa, that is just all water. Okay, well, compared to, and this is totally, let me make sure this is totally closed. Yep, and that is just, let me try to close that up just a little bit. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Yeah, this is more, not what you're looking for. This thing was just all chewed, and it was installed like that, and that's what was leaking like crazy. I could see it even before I connected the hose. I was like, what is that weird blob sitting in there like this? But I would like to have this filter in. Not that I expect there's going to be junk coming through my hose, really, but for kicks, I'm going to throw some of the other nozzles on. Okay, these are labeled, which is nice. This white one is 40 degrees, and this green one is 25. Comes with a red, I think, is usually 0 because it's dangerous. Black is for soap, which is just kind of like a wide open sort of sprayer, like a garden hose type of connector, and this is 10, 15. So, I'm going to grab the 40 because I think that's what you'd wash your car with anyway, and let me just see how the pressure is with this. Got the 40 on, and might as well rinse my trash barrel here. Oh, whoa. Now we've got some decent pressure. I certainly don't think that would be too harsh on a car. I'll throw the 25 on and see how that does. Yeah, the 25 degrees got some good power on it. All right, here we go with our last soap test. certainly we've got a good wide spray. Okay, let's recap. The Astro foam cannon, I'm going to go with good. The jury is still out. I still think this is a reasonable foam cannon in the $23 segment or something. There are a bunch. It's certainly way better than this. I mean, there's a clear difference between these two. So, you know, this one that came with the Toolcy, more what they would consider like a foam gun or just kind of like a soaping gun. I don't think it's meant to be the kind of state-of-the-art foam cannon anyway. The soap was okay. I mean, it wasn't the greatest feeling soap. Again, it could have been my mix. I did use the marks here and put 2 ounces, and I didn't even go all the way to 1 liter. I want to say this was not disappointing. I think this is adequate, and none of the other pieces leaked. The only part that leaked, I don't think, was really the part of Toolcy, to be honest, except for, you know, this piece that came shipped mangled like this. Clearly someone had probably just maybe accidentally taken this piece off, and when they reassembled it just mangled, and then you know, it was I probably have a returned unit here, and nothing's wrong with it functionally except for I don't have this nice little filter on. So I'm going to write to the company. I'll reach out to them and see how their customer support is. These tips are fine. They are what they are. This, nice surprise, feels like a decent quality gun. The trigger is comfortable. You know, reasonable pull here, decent weight to it. You know, I went through a lot of connect and disconnect. I didn't have any leaks at this end. I didn't have any leaks at this end. Even using the not exactly luxurious hose here, and this is okay. You can see it's not super stiff, but it's not exactly super pliable either. Better hoses can be had. What else? I haven't tried drying, so I can't tell you about this yet. So here's the setup I have. These 3 things are about $200. This was $9 for just about $200. And a lot of that is this drying situation. If you've got some good quality microfiber towels, okay, that you're comfortable drying your car with, you can save yourself $80 right off the bat. And now you're down to about, you know, right around $100 for everything you see here. And that's not too bad. Hey everyone, I just wanted to give an update. Toolcy has fantastic customer service. They were unbelievably responsive, emailed me nearly every day, sent me the replacement gasket right away. Boom, I have it. I put it in. You can see it properly seated in there. And as soon as I put it in, no leaks, working perfect. And they also sent me instructions on how to change it, and they sent me tracking, A+ customer service. So I've used this a few times. I just used it tonight. That's why it's wet. No problems with pressure and no problems with the gun that comes with it. And to be honest, the hose that comes with it is also been fine. Anyway, yeah, I'm using it with the AstroAI cannon. Today I tried an experiment. I used Megafoam from Adams, and I got some decent foam out of my foam cannon, and then I used that for the pre-wash, and then for the actual contact wash, I used Chemical Guys Blacklight because my car is black. Ran out of time, so I haven't had a chance to try this glaze yet. It's still sealed. I do want to give kudos to Chemical Guys for this type of wrap, because my Megafoam came with just kind of a piece of tape over the top. It, you know, wasn't quite as well sealed. Did a nice job cleaning, actually, in the pre-wash. Works well with the AstroAI foam cannon. I do have a couple of different orifices coming to see if I can push the foam volume up even more. But to be honest, it was sufficient. It was on. I don't know what the expected hang time should be for foam. I don't really know how long you want it on there. I mean, if it gets to be sitting on there more than 10 minutes, I don't know. I think the whole point of these heavy foams in the pre-wash is to sit on the car and then take some time to kind of break down and interact with the dirt that's on the car, and then slowly slide off just with gravity taking some of the dirt with it. And so it did seem to do that over a period of, I want to say, between 5 and 10 minutes. So I don't know if you want your foam to sit there for 30 minutes. I certainly don't. I got other things to do. So you can see I'm an old school guy. So you can see I've got some Meguiar's. This is I don't even know when the last time I bought this. You can see I've had this for a while. I even have some liquid glass here from, I think this is probably from the 90s. So, a lot of different products, but didn't try that on the car yet. Anyway, I wouldn't hesitate to pick up this Toolcy. I think for 95 bucks, you can't go wrong. It's small. I mean, here it is compared to my hand. It's pretty small, reasonably powerful. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.